Alright guys, front Mazda 5 shocks. I started installing it and I almost forgot to record it. So I already got the passenger side in. Okay, let me show you the old one. This is the old one here. Let's do the new one. Okay, and let me show you how bad my shock is. Okay, now when you press down on this and let go, it's supposed to go back up on its own. Nothing. So that's a bad shock there. Now if I press this one down, push down, bang. There, see? That's how it's supposed to look. And this is not even moving at all. So this shock is done. All right, so first and foremost, I need to take out the this metal clip here. Where is it? This metal clip here, holding the brake line in. So release that, and then take this out so that it's hanging there. And then you're gonna have to take out your stabilizer link. So take it out from up here. There's one more down here. Take that off out of the way so you have room to work with. Okay. Then you have a bolt here holding the shock in place. Okay, you take that out. Okay, now, and then there's three more bolts on top up here. Let's see. 1, 2, and you can't really see it, but it's back there. 3. The hardest part, well, it wasn't hard. I say the longest part of the job was trying to knock this out so that the shock could come out of here. It's pretty stuck in there. It's wedged in there. So I used penetrating oil. I used a piece of block of wood. I placed it here and I tapped it so I don't damage this. Oh, by the way, there's a sensor right here. Take that out too so you don't damage it. But go ahead and start hitting this and then this should come right out. Okay. But yeah, this job's taking a little bit long, but you can do it yourself. So I already got the other side in, and now it's time to get this one out. Okay, first thing I will have to do is take out this clip here that's holding the brake line in. So we want to remove that first. I got a flat head here. Okay, it's coming out. Oh. Okay. This is what it looks like. So put that away. Safe spot. On the brake line, you press down a little bit and you pull out here, like so. Swing that over. I'll just let it hang. Okay. Oh yeah, your ABS or your speed sensor. This sensor right here. There's a little clip. Press down on that, and that'll come out. So let me see. Okay, see there? This little clip. Press down and you pull up and it'll come out. Okay. Let's go ahead and take it off this mount here. Let me see. See how it's hanging on this mount. So if you pull back a little bit, okay, that'll come out. So let it hang, or tuck it back here, or up here. Let me just tuck it right there for now. Okay. Now the next thing I gotta do is I have to take out the stabilizer link. So a bolt up here, and then a bolt down here, and then just keep in mind, like if you have the OEM one, there should be an Allen key that you stick in the middle. If you notice it's not coming out, it's because the back is spinning too. So you're gonna have to put an Allen key in the middle and then take the bolt out at the same time. In my case, I don't have an Allen key because this is an aftermarket stabilizer link. This is Moog, so you would have to put a adjustable wrench in the back side here to hold it in place while I take out the bolt. Okay, so let me do that. Back here, there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and loosen this guy up. Okay, take that bolt out, and then up top here is your mount for the ABS and the sensor. So Okay, where were we? So I took out the stabilizer link bolt up here, I pulled it out, moved it out the way. Now it's up to you. If you want a little bit of room, you can go ahead and take out the bottom one and put it to the side. But for me, for now, I'm just gonna leave it off to the right here. And then now we have a bolt back here that we need to take off. Okay, here we are, 17 here. Go ahead, loosen it up. Okay, take that out, put it to the side. Okay, all right, so this is the part where it's gonna take the longest. Okay, so after you've taken out that pinch bolt right here, the side, these two are able to be separated. Okay, but it's like I said, it's stuck in there. I had a tough time on the other side, but I did a little bit at a time. I knocked it down a little bit, put a little bit of penetrating oil, and eventually it came out. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on that. A little bit of penetrating. And then here is the fun part. Now the reason why I put a piece of block here is because if I'm hitting on here, I don't want to bang this up and damage it all and make all kind of dents in it. So put a piece of block there and hit right here. Okay, it's about 1/2 inch there. I keep going. Okay, yep, there it is. So it's separated, it's loose. Now we got to get the 3 bolts up on top. Okay, like I said, there's 3 bolts on top. On the Mazda 5, this brake fluid reservoir here is in the way. So there is a nut up here and a nut up here. You take those off and this should come up and then move to the side. The passenger side, you have no problems. You can get to all 3 of these, okay, because there's nothing in the way. But this side, you gotta take these nuts off, okay? So 10mm up top. Loosen these up. Okay, this should come up. Just move that over to the side temporarily. Okay, 3 bolts on top, 14. Okay, put that up top safely. And this one may or may not work with the ratchet. You might need to get a wrench. You know what? I'm having a little trouble getting space. So I'm gonna take this bracket off, 2 10s, and I should be able to get to that. Take this off. Okay, now I have some room to get to that. Okay, here's the 3rd one. Then say space, and then we'll go back to the bottom. Here we are at the bottom. Now that I got that loose, let's press down on this a little bit. Alright. Okay. Okay, so here's a side-by-side of the old one next to the new one. We are going to have to take off this spring assembly. Now, but before you do that, you need to get yourself a pair of spring compressors. I got mine. See, they look like this here. These are spring compressors. You can rent these at your local auto parts store. I got mine at AutoZone. Put down a deposit of, I think, somewhere near $60. So you put a deposit. Once you're done, you return it, get your money back. Okay, but it's important. Okay, do not take this off. Okay, compress your spring first. Okay, you don't want to hurt yourself, lose a finger, lose a hand. You know, just be careful. Okay, compress this first. Get yourself some spring compressors. Be safe. You do a little bit on each side, okay? Do a little bit here, a little bit here. And as you're doing that, this side will compress, this side compress. So we want to compress it evenly as we can. Okay. Let me see. Once you have it compressed up top here, okay, screw this off. There is a 17 nut that you need to take off, but to stop it from spinning you need to put an Allen key in the middle. Okay, so let's put an Allen key in the middle and let's take this nut off. Okay, take the nut off. Now you're ready to take off your top hat. Okay, there you go. So the bottom's loose. Now the top hat can come out. Okay, take off your spring. You bring in your new one. Now, this little part right here, okay, when you put your spring back in, make sure it's sitting all the way to the end right here, okay? Don't have it sit like this or like this. Just make sure it's sitting all the way to the back here. Here's another important note. When you're putting this back in, okay, there is a tab. Here it is. Do you see this tab? This is important, okay? You need to line that up. See that tab? That tab needs to line up with the back tab, the bottom tab, okay? See this here? This is important. This needs to line up, okay? So try to get that as straight as you can when you're putting the top hat back on. So get it and get it tight. Okay, go ahead and release the spring compressors a little bit on each side. Okay. Okay, there it is. Verify this is at the end. The two tabs meet up here, this tab and this tab. Okay, it's ready to go back in. Yep. Okay, quick note. There is a little hole right here for the nipple, the top hat right here. Okay, make sure this line, this tab right here on the bottom tab is towards the back. Okay, going that way, and at the top the nipple is in the position right here. Okay, let's get that first bolt in. Alright, so the torque settings for these 3 bolts is 28 pounds on each. Okay, I am able to do the front 2. The back, my torque wrench doesn't have enough space to clear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to torque these down to 28 pounds and then just tighten this by hand as close as I can, or as you know, just nice and snug so that it doesn't get loose. Just get it on nice and snug. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. you don't have to worry about the top. So let's go back to the bottom here. So here we are at the bottom. Now important, the tab in the back needs to face that way. Okay, there's a little slot right here it's supposed to go into, so make sure this tab is facing that way and make sure it goes into that tab, because the bolt needs to go inside this hole. Okay, so this tab needs to go all the way down, and that's how you know that it's in its correct position. Okay, now to help it along, I have a jack under the control arm here, and as I start to lift up, I'm gonna wiggle this back and forth, and it should help it go in, as well as a little bit of penetrating, so just to help it along. Okay, there we go. A little bit of tap. Okay, let's verify that it's completely through. Okay, so I can see it from this side. It's completely through, so we're ready to put the bolt in. But before I do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of thread locker blue, just so that it doesn't get loose with all the vibration. So that right here. Okay, there's a torque setting on this. I believe it's 56 pounds. Let me verify that. 54 pounds. That was close. So 54 pounds on this bolt that we're putting in. That's 54. Okay, that's done there. Let's go ahead and put on the stabilizer link. Okay, now don't forget about this. This has to go back in. Okay, and then I put a dab of Loctite on the threads back here, so that's done. Put this back on, and then go ahead and put your nut back on. Okay, I think it's spinning, so I gotta put the wrench on the back so it'll stop spinning. Let's get the torque wrench. 44 pounds on the stabilizer link nut. Okay, that's torqued down. Let me see here, what do we have next? So we got that done, we got the 3 up top done, we got the pinch bolt done here. We do have the brake line we need to put back in, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Can you see this right here? Let's go ahead, back down under, through the middle, and back up. Okay, and then you get your little metal piece here, you slide it back in, and you just get something to tap it in a bit. That's it. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at your work, make sure everything's done. It said 3 on top, verified. That's verified. If you took out the bottom one, make sure that your bottom stabilizer link nut is torqued down. This is torqued down, and this is back in. So yeah, all right, cool. Okay, don't forget about your ABS sensor. Let's plug that back in, like so. So you hear it click. There's a click there, and then go ahead and put this back in its proper place, which is back in here. Okay, mine's a little ripped up top, but that's okay. Put this back there. Okay, so sensor's back in. That is the install. Not too bad. You can do it yourself. Make sure you get spring compressors, so be careful when working on this. And yeah, pretty cool install. I do have matching KYB. I do have matching struts for the back. That'll be another install, another video. But that video, that install is gonna be a lot easier than this one. This is the most difficult one. Well, it wasn't difficult, just this part right here. It took the longest. So yeah, you'll spend a little time taking this out, and then but yeah, so that's the install, folks. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. All right, cool. So thumbs up.